What's your topic?
My topic is the future of virtual reality games compared to just a regular old controller in the hand. This is becoming a thing that has.
You're right.
It kind of goes back and forth as far as you have a couple of different things out there. I know VR is becoming a real big thing as far as like the Oculus Rift. A lot of people are adapting to that. And with the whole Kinect,
Don't even conclude the Connect. Come on.
it's still part of it.
It's shit.
It's shit, but it's still part of it. My thing is it depends on what it really is. I know one thing I'm kind of intrigued by is the Microsoft's HoloLens. I don't know if you ever saw it in the trailer.
That is ridiculous.
Expensive as hell.
Yeah.
It's
But they can show what it can really go to, and the question is that like the future of gaming?
But it's not very accurate.
That's the thing. Or it
No,
doesn't.
I'm just
it's
saying,
not
like,
as-
from their demos, like it looked. Don't get me right. Wrong. I used it at E3 when they were showing like the Halo Guardians thing. Like they had us put it on, and then they showed like a waypoint. Like it was like a Halo game. Like it was kind of cool. But with all the latest demo, where like the Mega Man hand and stuff like that, maybe they could do it. I don't see
I think it's still.
I don't see where it's like that intense, where it's like, they're shooting walls and like doing this
No,
stuff.
I think it's still in its like alpha phase.
Like I feel like they're just they're prototyping like little demos.
It's eventually going to get there. There's no doubt about
'Cause
that.
it
It's
was
more
cool,
of a
though.
when than an if.
It was cool though, like the whole like the waypoint and stuff like that, and then like when you got to like the room like table, like it was like a hollow thing that popped up and explained like what Warzone was and stuff like that, which was pretty sweet.
But just talking about that, like there's some games that are
how
like
would you
straight to
implement
get.
that? Like,
Or there's even some games that are just straight connect. So you can't do anything else. You have to have that. Or they could do something with that, and then you have to have an entire room closed off your game.
yeah, that's the thing. I just don't see that being.
So a lot of people's like living rooms, like, and right behind them, 5 feet is a kitchen.
I see that being more of like a shout out to like Minority Report, like helping for like computer wise stuff, like multitasking and doing different things. But as for gaming implements with it, I don't see like a really good. use for
It will.
that much.
I'm literally gonna put like a decade till it's spot on.
Like the only thing that, like, staying on topic, the only thing that I can see that will have a good use for it, but it has to be used correctly, is like the VR stuff. Like instead of augmented reality, I think VR is where it's at. Just because of the fact that I've played the Sony Morpheus, or Sony VR now, as they call it, and Oculus, and then the Starbreeze one. I think it's just called Starbreeze VR. And all of them were sweet. My standout one, I really want to say, was the Sony VR.
Really?
Yeah, because mainly at E3, I know I say this a lot to you because it was really sweet. Just the fact they had this one demo where you were in like a getaway car, and you had the PlayStation Move controllers, and you're going through and like, oh hey, get the gun. Like the guy's talking to you, like you have the headset on and stuff, and you're looking around and you can see everything. You can pick up like pop cans and throw them and stuff like that. And then it's like, oh hey, grab the gun, because people were like chasing us on motorcycles. So it's like, okay, and it's like you're looking for it, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And it's like, oh, check the glove box, grab it, and I'm like, literally, I felt me doing the motions. Like it was just seamless. Like just grab it, and then it's like, oh, yeah, grab the gun, and then I grab the gun, like press the trigger and stuff.
Yeah.
I had it in my hand, and like literally when I'm moving it, like I could see like my hand moving, and then like leaning out like the car like window and stuff like that, shooting people. Like I felt me going like this with the other remote, and like holding my hand to shoot. And like
That's cool.
And that's the thing. Like it's gonna be hard to show people that, because I can only imagine what I look like playing that game. Like you just see a random person just going like shooting and just doing random stuff.
Now,
so it looks goofy.
Did you do any of the horror games?
I did the horror one. That one.
Was that the one with the?
That'd have been good.
I did 2 horror games. The last year, I did Alien Isolation with Oculus, with
That's
surround sound headphones.
Probably amazing.
It was terrifying.
I'm sure.
I've I've always told the story. Like my introduction was I was in line waiting. The guy in front of me sat down, put those things on, and he freaked out so bad within like not even 5 minutes, and he took them off, and he's like, I can't do this. It's like, this is too scary. And I'm like, oh, great. I'm next. Here we go. So then I put it on, and I'm sneaking around. I felt like I was doing okay. I mean, I didn't see the alien at all.
Yeah.
And I hear hissing, and all of a sudden and I look down, and I see like the tail come like out of my chest, and I'm like, oh god, and like I felt me like drop the controller and just like go like this, and it's like, damn. Like I took the headphones off, and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
That's awesome.
Like
That's
it was like,
fantastic.
and that's the thing. Like it's gonna be sweet, and I really do want to get the Oculus Rift. I think just because, you know, I have a lot of PC games that I could probably play with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really excited. I'm really intrigued with the Sony VR. But that's the thing. Games gotta learn how to implement it. I think Sony has something with the whole Move controllers, because then it's gonna be like somewhat of the shootout getaway thing that I played. I would get Move controllers for, because that was sweet. Because it was like just all seamless, where it's like, oh man, I'm using my hands and I'm moving stuff and like grabbing different things. And then the other horror game for the Sony VR, that one was just insane because you were just stuck in a chair, really.
that was that one. Yeah.
Like you're looking around, and you're hearing things, and like, what's
I
going
remember
on?
I
It was
saw
terrifying.
Angry Joe talk about that one.
There was other ones,
ridiculous.
but it was just like the other ones were just like, you know, the playroom things with those little dudes.
Oh,
And you're looking and
The-
like
the robots.
It's literally like a playset, and like people are like in this little playset house, and you can like, it was really creepy though, because you can like see them and like you can grab them and stuff. It was really weird.
Do you think it's going? If they do, like, they find do like an actual big push of games going to have it, do you think it's going to stick? Because obviously, like,
That's the
with
whole
whole the Wii Stick, the Sony Motion, the Kinect,
Kinect.
that era, none of those stuck.
thing. No.
So would that even
That's a-
stick? And then on top of that, you're going to have to
No.
spend $200 to probably have that thing minimum.
As for the Sony VR, it all depends on who they get to support it. Like what I say, and then even the guys from that I watch, the Kind of Funny guys, they're on something too. And I mean, this is exactly what I say. But they have to have a good lineup for it right off the gate. They can't like be pissing around with it pretty much and be like, oh, you know, we're just making little apps for it, stuff like that. Like have like a big name company make a game for it.
Yeah.
Like show that, oh man, there's actually going to be support for this product. That, you know, this piece of hardware that you had to buy extra for.
First game to come out for Sony VR is from Naughty Dog.
Like that. And I'm also thinking another good way to promote Sony VR, No Man's Sky.
Oh my God!
Imagine
Yes.
No Man's Sky
Good
with
Lord.
the Sony VR.
Oh my God! It'd be insane. That'd be
I
insane.
still have a feeling that's why it's all quiet still, and there has not
they're
been, because it
gonna
was
do
supposed
it.
to be out
Yeah.
this year, but then they're quiet. I have a feeling that it's gonna be
The
like
VR
a
was supposed
VR.
to be out this year.
No, it's No Man's Sky.
Oh, that's right.
And I have a feeling though that that's going to be part of Sony VR, and that would be amazing. I would buy Sony VR on the spot if they said that No Man's Sky is going to be a part of it, just to get lost in that world. Like I'm going to get lost in
Universe.
that. Yeah,
The universe.
yeah, I'm going to get lost in
You
that.
get fired from work.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You look
get-
at your game and go like, oh, it's still got time.
well, hopefully by then
You
we
haven't
get
been to work in a
supported.
week. I made it to Pluto.
But yeah, like I really like I'm gonna get lost in that world regardless. Just imagine it'd be 20 times, like not even 20 times, like 100 times better with a VR, like just being able to look around and do different things.
Do you think they'll try to do a push, or do you think they're going to slowly like integrate it in?
That's the thing with Sony, they killed the Vita. Like because
Or
they didn't
Vita.
really, yeah, the Vita. I'm getting a Vita again.
They killed it. I'm gonna get one.
No, I'm getting it just because.
Sold.
Like, no, that's the thing. Like, I'm playing on my PlayStation a lot more now. So I want my share play back, my remote play. So when I'm moving around doing different things, or like if I'm like doing editing and stuff for these videos, I can actually like still play a game and watch my counter go down for Metal Gear
Yeah.
and stuff. But like that's the thing. Like they just need to do a push. Because they can't do like they did with Sony or the Vita. So
They do a push, but they also needed to not make it so damn expensive.
it's gonna be that's
Hasn't
the
there been
bad
like
thing.
3
That's
price
the
drops?
that's
I
the
think,
gray.
didn't they release
area.
a price for it? It's like
Uh,
$2.90, like $199 or
It's like
$2.99?
$199 now, I think.
Yeah, but then also think about it. That's on top of the system you already have.
Yeah.
When
I mean,
Xbox and PlayStation came out, people chose the PlayStation.
You know
It was
how
$100
much they-
cheaper.
like you know how much like the Oculus and stuff is.
And that's the thing.
That's just VR in general right now. Like those will probably go. The prices will probably go down. eventually.
it would be better if it was like one system. Like your console is this big, and then you got the Oculus Rift with it.
I feel like that's gonna be the next gen. If VR actually does well, I feel like the next gen consoles will have VR implemented, like built in.
Built in, like it'll just come.
Or
with
that
Yeah.
will be the push. The new system will have the VR, and
That's-
that will be their push.
That's yeah.
'Cause that would essentially just be throwing you.
They're gonna want everybody to use
No.
it.
It's
and
either you
they're gonna-
don't play games or you get the VR.
Now, either that or what they'll do is, I feel like Sony will come up with a bundle for the Sony VR and like the PlayStation built in
Yeah.
for
Oh
people,
yeah.
just to kind of be like, oh, okay, so it's around the same price as the old system, like before the price drop. Like that'd be kind of cool,
And
but
now we're talking about like pushes and if they're going to the if they'll be more implemented the new gens. That's kind of changing everything. That's not just changing. That's not this game's Oculus Rift and this one's still using the same controller.
I mean,
So if they do that, you're talking about every game.
technically, I mean, if you really think about it, I'm not gonna pretend to know the aspects of making a game or anything like that. I'm just saying you could make every game like VR. in
Well,
some
how
way.
how would that affect it though?
It could be like
It
just
can-
take
it-
it this way, as third-person shooters or third-person games, the camera is you with the VR,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're looking like you can look around.
But
As a
do you think the reaction time when you do something is it going to be
Like
is
what
it
I'm
going to
saying
be
is,
as quick
you
as
can
it is
still-
now?
With like Oculus Rift, you can still look like you have a control in your hand, and you can still move. Like you can still move like with the analog stick, but you can also just do this too. So I have a feeling like it's just gonna be optional. Like you can just be immersed in this world a little bit more than you normally would by just watching.
At
a
some
TV
point, it's
screen,
not going to be optional.
You
though.
know.
Especially if their new gen,
Well, I feel like
systems are
this
going
is
to
what they
automatically
have to do
it.
first is just get people used to the
Get
idea.
warmed up.
Yeah, get them warmed up for it, and then the next console, make that push. And then just be like, okay, everything's VR. Just deal with it.
That might suck though, especially like for competitive gaming.
Oh, that would require more skill.
That point, yeah, but if the VR produces a lag time,
There's really not a lag.
They're gonna have to have some tight head straps
Like,
on those
that's
things.
the
People
whole
are
thing,
playing
though.
Call of Duty.
At least, like, doing that getaway demo and then playing, like, a little bit of the Alien Isolation. There's not really, like, a lag, like, response.
Well,
Like,
I don't think
know,
you're
like, the
no-
old ones, like, the old VR systems, like, they came out, like, the Oculus 1. Because I think they're up to 3 now, or whatever. Like, the development
Yeah.
kit 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
The other ones, they had, like, latency issues. This
I don't
new one is,
think-
like, actually pretty smoother. Like, I mean, I played, like,
you're not going to you may not feel latency until you actually are in a multiplayer like a versus game.
but I was still shooting, though. Like, I'm still, like, aiming at people.
But
and,
you're
like,
aiming
taking
at
the time.
computers. You weren't playing against players.
You gotta think, though, too, everybody's gonna have the same type of, headset on. And it's gonna be like, the same type of latency or whatever. And it's gonna be pretty balanced unless you have a better reaction time of the next person. Then what can you can't really blame that.
Well, I'm just remember like back when like controllers were wired, then go to wireless. There was a latency. You could feel it.
Yeah, I mean,
And that was just talking about a controller. You're talking about a
I'm-
whole different piece of gear.
Yeah, I'm not a pro gamer or anything like that. I don't pretend to be at all. But that's the whole thing. Like, I feel that playing, like, that getaway demo and stuff like that, or whatever it was called, it's just shooting.
Well, I'm just
like,
I'm just saying if
It
you were
felt
going to
smooth and
change
natural.
everything of a game, you should think about everyone. Whether you're a pro gamer or casual, you play once a
I don't
week or
feel-
you play 40 hours a week.
I know I joked about it. I really don't feel like they're going to be like, this is all you can use is VR. it's just for people that want to be more immersed in the world.
Yeah.
Like Sony's a smart company, except for when they dealt with the Vita, but but still, I mean, I really hope that Sony does good with this Sony VR, even though Oculus is going to be here to stay because PC people are a little bit more passionate than console people.
Mhm.
So like the Sony VR is like the first stepping stone into like, you know, consoles using it. But I'm liking the whole Microsoft thing with the Oculus, where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, you know, you can play, like, how was it? You can play, like, you know, the Xbox One games that you stream on the, like, Windows 10, and it was like a theater mode. So it looked like you were watching on a big screen.
Oh
technically.
yeah.
That's
And that would
one
be
thing
sweet.
that's going to screw up, you know, furniture places for your
issue.
houses. You buy a HoloLens for $3,000, you no longer need
No, I'm
to
not
get.
talking about HoloLens.
I
I'm
know.
talking about the Oculus Rift.
Yeah, I was jumping the HoloLens
Oh,
as far
okay.
as because that you basically add to anything in the entire immersive of your apartment or your house. There goes the furniture companies. No longer need to buy a TV or some pictures. You just automatically put them on the wall, and there you go. Your actual house
don't-
just looks like a trailer park.
I don't feel like they're gonna get rid of like TVs in general though with that.
No, I think
got-
I think VR and 4K are going hand in hand. Like, so you've got this crazy immersive 3D world, and then
Yeah.
you've got 4K TVs. So it's like, even though you're not immersed completely in the world, you can still have some 4K Ultra TV that just makes the game look ridiculous as soon as they start doing it on consoles.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I really do hope the best for VR though, just for the fact that I don't think casual games, you know, the way you casual like, you know, play in general will go away at all. Like, I guarantee you, I'm gonna confirm this right now. 20 years from now, we're still gonna be able to use a controller. It's just we're gonna have more options available to us, where maybe we might not want to use a controller, but there's still an option for it.
I think it would be better just in general for anything that's a video game just to have something that's just it's different.
Like, just
It adds more to the game.
well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it gives you the options to, you know, like, it's not gonna force you to be like all VR games because, I mean, you can't really make, I don't know, like, I'm trying to like
Well,
think how to like
It improved the
say this.
quality of some games. Like like you said, you kind of scared, and the guy before you was really scared about playing this.
Yeah,
You
like,
can't
horror
imagine how
games are gonna be
many
amazing
horror
with-
games
That's like-
will come out
that's-
after
I mean,
VR
there's
goes out.
already like a couple, like, you know, in the demos
They
for
will
Oculus.
It's like the
Pump
biggest
out.
selling point for everybody is the horror games.
Uh-huh.
I don't know,
Like, I
man.
can only
like, Rock
imagine-
Band
It's
might be pretty
amazing.
nice with something like that.
Rock Band.
Can
That'd
you
be
imagine
dope,
playing
man.
Condemned with a VR?
Imagine playing Outlast with a VR.
Outlast.
That was the only game that made me terrified.
Can
You
you
know.
Can you,
You
do
know.
Madden? Madden might
Condemned
be.
needs to come back. It really needs to come back. I really do want it to come back. I hope it comes back. Well, that's been it for Leviathan Gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to us on youtube.com/LeviathanGameNetVids. And also make sure to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/LeviathanGaming. Throw us a couple bucks. You get the whole episode early and a couple, you know, cool little perks. Promise the videos get better. Really do. It's pretty awesome though so far, I believe. Until next time.
See ya.
See you later.
But
Yeah.